Oh hey, didn't see you there, but I'm glad you came to join my quest for knowledge. Brian Hoosman here, reporting on the new concussion rules in football, specifically the NFL. Come join me as we hit the UNK campus for other students' opinions. State your name and rank.
Matt Moore.
Hello, Matt. I have a question for you today. How do you feel about the new concussion rules in football these days? Specifically, how the NFL just put in a rule how players with concussion have to see an independent neurologist before seeing the field again.
Well, I think it's a very good idea, as former players are suing the NFL due to brain damage that occurred while they played in their former days. So, I mean, if the NFL wants to save some money, I think they should do it.
Nice, nice. Have you ever had a concussion personally?
Yes, I have had 2 concussions.
2?
Yes.
And are you suing anybody?
No.
All right, good for you, Matt. Thanks for your time. I am here with the Alex Halber. How you doing, Alex?
Good.
All right, it's good to.
I think the rules are good because a concussion is an injury to the brain. So having another concussion without being cleared, could lead to death of athletes, which is pretty serious. And having a neurologist would be a good idea to make sure that they're fully recovered from their first concussion.
Okay. And as I understand it, you are a physical trainer here at UNK?
Yes.
And you have some experience on the UNK football sidelines. Have you previously dealt with any concussed players?
Yes, I've seen them happen from high school football all the way to college football, and it's a pretty serious injury, especially if they have a pretty serious concussion. They don't really know where they are most of the time. They don't remember their name. Sometimes it's pretty bad.
So I feel like your answer is pretty backed up with some great experience.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all I need. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm here with
Abe Clinch.
and Gabe, right?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
All right. First question. Recently, the NFL put in a rule regarding concussions stating that a concussed player is not able to see the field again until they are cleared by an independent neurologist. So with that being said, how do you feel about all these new concussion rules in football?
I would say they're needed just because of all the lawsuits the NFL goes through from ex-players just saying it's the NFL's fault or the sports team they were on's fault for their brain damage later on in life, and it causes the NFL to lose a lot of money. So I think this is a good idea for the long run.
Good answer. So do you think that maybe the NCAA and maybe even high school football should put these rules in?
I think for the NCAA, I can see it happening just because the school can kind of pay for it, whereas high school, those guys are getting help from their parents, so it's going to be coming out of their pocket, and some insurances might not cover a neurologist, so it'd just be a loss of money and kind of a big ordeal, unless they got like a sponsorship from the school or something to help pay for that neurologist. But otherwise, I think it's okay for the NCAA, but not high school sports.
Okay. Thanks for your input, Gabe.
No problem.
All right. So we are here with
Colton Door.
and
Well,
Colton.
I understand why they're in place for safety reasons, but I think they're a little ridiculous because when you think about it, we pay football players millions of dollars when we pay teachers and doctors not as much. So when we pay them that much just to entertain us, we expect them to entertain us. So they should be on the field every week, regardless of their head injuries.
Do you have that same opinion even if one of the players dies from brain damage?
Well, if it's directly related to brain damage, that's a different discussion. But if it's another cause and they had brain damage, I don't think that's a big deal.
Great response. Thank you for your time. All right, I am here with Nate Nelson with another interview. And Nate, let me ask you, there has been plenty of new rules in the NFL concerning concussions, and one of them being a player cannot return to the field unless being cleared by an independent neurologist having a prior concussion. How do you feel about all these new concussion rules in football and the NFL?
Probably a good idea. It's a safe bet because a lot of like people who retire are having like head trauma and like Junior Seau like committed suicide. So it's probably a good idea in the long run for them.
I agree. And being a former high school football player, have you ever had a concussion and or tried to hide it from the coaches in order to play?
Yeah, I think everybody really does.
That fucker sucks.
And looking back on it now, do you think that was such a good idea?
Probably not, but at the time it felt right. It seemed right.
All right, thanks for your time. Okay, I'm here with Alex Lees. All right, nice to meet you, Alex.
Good thing, because players ultimately need to have their brain checked out before they are cleared to go back into contact with football, because they can damage it way worse than just a concussion.
Okay, and I've also had a couple answers regarding lawsuits against the NFL from retired players regarding brain damage. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's the NFL's fault that the players got the concussion. They knew what they signed up for when they put the helmet on, so I don't think they should be suing the NFL.
Interesting. Well, hey, thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, anytime, man.
So I am here with Sarah Lees. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Is it alright if I ask, how do you feel about these new concussion rules?
Well, I don't really know that much about the NFL, but it sounds like a good idea.
All right. And as I understand, you work at the hospital here in Kearney?
That's right.
All right. Have you had any previous experience with people coming in with concussions, that sort of thing?
That's not really what we see very often.
All right. Well, thanks for your input.